Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the Sarvodaya plan. Okay. So this is the small topic in the planning in Indian chapter. Okay. So let's come to the point. So here, after the reports of the National Planning Commission were published and the government was set to go for the 5-year plans, especially this type of the planning we adopted from the Soviet Union, right? So whenever it received all the reports which were regarding the planning commission, so it started to go for the 5-year plans. Okay, so next Indian very eminent socialist leader, so one and only Jayaprakash Narayan, he also formulated one important plan, so that is known as a Sarvodaya plan. Okay, so here Sarvodaya plan was published in January 1950. Okay, so here the plan has its major inspirations, especially from the Gandhian techniques. Okay, so here whatever the plannings or features have the Gandhi, so those features we can see in the Gandhian plan. In the same way, Sarvodaya plan also. Okay, so here and he has the Sarvodaya concept also. So he followed the Gandhian techniques. In the same way, he followed the Sarvodaya plan. Okay, so the Sarvodaya concept of the Acharya Vinoba Bhave, he was the eminent Gandhian constructive worker. It means he was a follower of the Gandhian. Okay, according to the Sarvodaya concept of Acharya Vinoba Bhave, in the same way, the important Gandhian techniques, by using two important principles, he formulated Sarvodaya plan. Okay, so that's why here major important features and principles are really related to the Gandhian plan. Okay. So once you see those similarities between the Sarvodaya plan and Gandhian plan. Okay. So here emphasis on the agriculture, agri-based small and cottage industries, self-reliance and almost no dependence on foreign capital. It means we never focus on the foreign investment or foreign capital in India. Okay. And technology also. Okay. So reforms, land reforms, and next self-dependent villages we need. Okay, and a decentralized participatory form of the planning. Decentralized participatory form of the planning is nothing but promoting the local governments. Okay, and economic progress. So these are the very important features that we can see in the Gandhian plan, in the same way in the Sarvodaya plan also. Okay. So by the early 1960s, Jayaprakash Narayan had become highly critical of the Indian planning process, because mostly our Indian planning, it means during the National Planning Commission, whenever they promoted 5-year plans in that particular time, so that was a centralized nature. Okay, so here only central government has the power to promote the important Indian plannings in India. Okay, so he criticized the centralization of the Indian planning. In the same way, dilution of people's participation also. So without the people's participation, so they are promoting the important Indian plans. Okay, so it never focus on the people's participation. So that's why here Jayaprakash Narayan, he was always against the Indian planning, especially by the early 1960s. Okay. So let's go for the reason why they are not focusing on the people's participation. In the same way, they never focus on the decentralization. So those reasons are: this important decentralization was disliked by the established power structure. So those are the political power structures. Okay. So namely MLAs, member of the legislative assemblies in the state level, and MPs in the central level. So that is member of the parliament. Okay. And the bureaucracy and state level politicians also. Okay, so these persons never like that particular decentralization. Okay, because of this reason only, then they didn't promote the local government and they didn't promote the decentralization in the Indian planning. Okay. In 1961, there was a Jayaprakash Narayan committee, and it was decided against the centralizing nature of the Indian planning. Okay, so because there was an increasing power of the centralization, so if there is a centralization means they never give power to the state governments. Okay, so each and every state government has to responsible to the central government, and they don't have any powers whenever there is a centralization of the Indian planning. Okay. So here Prakash Narayan committee, so they focused on the Panchayati Raj, okay, as the agency especially responsible for planning and execution of the plans. Okay, if the Panchayati Raj has the responsibility as the agency for planning and execution, so it will go to the root level of the village and each and every rural areas. Then only so the planning will be valid. Okay, so this is the main recommendation which was given by the Joy Prakash Narayan Committee 1961. Okay. But the humble advice of the Jayaprakash Narayan Committee, it was disregarded by the central schemes such as SFDA, Small Farmers Development Agency, and the next one DAAP, so that is Drought Prone Area Program, and ITDP, Intensive Tribal Development Program, and next IADP, Intensive Agriculture District Program. Ever those were introduced by the government, and those were put under the central government only. Okay, they were not put under the purview of the panchayats. They were deleted from the panchayati raj. Okay, only they run their own independence. Okay, they never focus on the panchayats and rural areas. Okay. As we know about the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act in 1992, so that the role of the local bodies were increased and their importance in the process of the planned development also accepted. Okay, it means hence the views of Jayaprakash Narayan were proved. Okay, so whenever there was some 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts 1992, once again the Jayaprakash Narayan's views were proved to be the developed and planned economy which has to focus on the decentralization. Then only we can get the development. Okay, so this is all about the Sarvodaya plan. Okay, thank you.